Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome to another FM17 team guide. Today we are looking at Swansea. So in this guide, basically we talk through the philosophies, how they expect you to play. We look through the what the board expect you to achieve this season. Then we look through transfer budgets, wage budgets, and then quick look at staff to see if there's any improvements that need to be made there. The team report, and then we also go through the sort of the under 23s and the under 18s to see if there's any good young talents in the team. And then we'll have a look at the main squad, go through each position, see where the strengths and weaknesses of our team lie, talk about tactics a little bit, and possible transfers that we could make. So, here we are at Swansea. Our philosophies are to play possession football. I think we can manage that. That's not too bad. What do the board expect us to achieve this season? I'm hoping it's just like stay clear of relegation, don't get relegated. They expect us a mid-table. Okay, so quite a little bit of a challenge there. The Swansea have not got the strongest team. Obviously, over the last few years, lost a few of their best players. FA Cup 5th round and League Cup 4th round. Okay, so how much money are they going to give so we can get mid-table? Okay, well, that's not too bad then. 23.6 million transfer budget and 100,000 on wages. I'm pretty impressed with that. That's not too bad at all. Let's have a look at the staff. The medical staff seems okay. The scouting and coaching staff needs a massive overhaul. I'd probably ask the board if you can get another coach on board. That's not a massive team there. You're one of the worst in the league, so we need to get that fixed. Next up, we're going to look through the team report. I won't go through each of these individually, but if you want to check it out, please pause the video so you can look now. Done it? Good? Right, come on. Is there any wonder kids? This is one of my favourite bits. Is there any superstars in the making? Are we going to find the next Gareth Bale? Our best prospect is Jack Fox. It's a good name. He looks okay. 16 years old, Welshie. Decent winger. I don't think he's ever going to be a spectacular player. Maybe with a bit of tutoring, you might be able to get him into the sort of a squad player, but that's about it really. And the big star in our under 23s is Callum, who's a 17-year-old Welsh striker, can play on the wing as well. He looks alright. He's got potential to be a decent player. He's got some nice mentals, a fair bit of acceleration. His physicals will go up with age as well, but they're never going to be super duper from that start. But a decent finishing, composure, first touch. He could be a decent player. I definitely think he needs some tutoring and then get some loan time to go and play some football. Right, let's look at the main bit. We're going to look at the squad and where we need to strengthen. I'm not going to go through in every single position in great detail. We're just going to have a quick look through the players, see if they're decent enough, and then move on. So it's not a very big squad. The first thing we've got to say is it's not a very big squad. So let's look at our goalkeeper, Lucas Fabianski, 31 years old now, in his peak, and he's actually a pretty decent keeper. And then we've got Nordveld, 27-year-old Swedish, 5 caps for Sweden. He's a decent backup. As far as goalkeepers go, I think we're okay there. Next up, let's have a look at left-back position. We've got Neil Taylor, who's a very solid left-back. He'll do a job for you. He's not the best going forward, but he's decent pace, stamina. He can run up and down the wings quite a bit. I'm pretty happy with the left-back. Who's our backup left-back? Okay, Stephen Kingsley. It looks like he's the man. And he's much more attacking. You could actually make him into like a wide midfielder if you wanted to. But actually, I quite like the look of him. He's going to be a decent backup. Okay, quite happy so far. On the right-hand side of defence, we've got Angel Rangel, or Angel Rangel, as Thierry Henry pronounced it the other night, weirdly. He's been around for ages, 33 years old, and he's lacking a bit of pace. And for a wing-back, that can be tricky, because if he gets caught upfield, he's not going to get back in time. This may be an area we definitely look to strengthen. He's got good mentals, though. And then his backup is, or not backup, his competition is Kyle Morton, the ex-Tottenham. He went to Tottenham for a few years, didn't he? Yeah, Tottenham. Picked him up for £5 million. And I'd say he looks a little bit better. I like the fact he's got a bit of stamina, he's got a bit of pace about him. Technicals are a little bit weak. That could be an area we strengthen, but let's go through the rest first. So, we've got 4 centre-backs in the team. We're going to look through them. Fernandez, solid. Not very much pace, but a pretty solid player. Not too bad. Then we've got Alfie Mawson, 22 years old, so quite a youngster. He's going to improve quite a bit. Decent all-rounder without being exceptional. Then we've got Mike van der Horn, great name. You get bonus points for good names. Crazy Dutch guy called Mike van der Horn. Yeah, so he is a pretty good player, actually. Not too bad. Nice sort of well-rounded player. And then Jordi Amat, who's actually wanted at the moment by Inter Milan. Okay. He's all right. He's not amazing. But he's actually a pretty decent player for your side. So it's okay without being spectacular. I think Fernandez and Amat are going to be your main two sort of starters if you can play four at the back. But moving on, let's look at central midfield options. We've got Jack Cork, 27 years old now. Really good player, really good rounded stats. Plays best as a defensive midfielder, but pretty versatile. Good mentals, good physicals. He's going to run all day. Technicals are a little bit of an issue, but I still think he's a very good player. He'll be one of the sort of first names on the team sheet, I think. Then we've got Leon Britton's Got Talent, who's a defensive midfielder or deep line playmaker. And he's pretty good as well. 33 years old now, so this might be his sort of last couple of seasons. He's got 2 years left on his contract. But really, really good mentals. Really like those mentals. He can't jump, but, you know, is he little? Yeah, he's only little, 5'6". What do you expect? Then we've got Jay Fulton, 22 years old, so on the younger end. He kind of just fills out the squad, really. He's okay. I think as soon as you get a replacement, he might be one of the first ones to go. Then we've got Ki Sung Hyung, or as it's pronounced in South Korea, Kosingon! Quick question, little diversion. Why has doing accents suddenly become a racist thing? It used to be that you could do funny accents, and that was fine. But now you're suddenly racist if you do an accent. Moving back. So Ki Sung Young is 27-year-old South Korean international with bags of experience. Very good player. Another deep line playmaker, central midfielder. Pretty versatile, actually. Can play most of the roles pretty well. So good player to have in the team. Then we've got Leroy Fer, who's scoring all your goals at the moment for Norwich. He did play for Norwich, so I'll take that mistake. And a decent, well-rounded player without being spectacular. And then we've got probably the best player in the team, who on FM15, 16, I think even 14, I was buying because he would score a shit ton of goals. This is the guy you need to sort of help build the team around. 26 years old, coming into his prime, valued at £22 million. You can play him behind the striker or in central midfield. I'm playing him behind the striker, I think. I want him getting goals. That's it for our central midfield options. That's not too bad. We've got a nice, well-rounded. We don't really have a proper meaty, ball-winning midfielder like a Wanyama or something like that we could potentially use. But we've got some decent playmakers, and Gylfi's good going forward. Now, as for wingers, on the right, we've got Nathan Dyer, who's all about the pace, but he's actually pretty decent. 28 years old now, so coming in his prime. He's not going to get any better. This is as good as it gets for you guys, but I think he's going to do all right. Then we've got Manu Barrow, who in real life is looking pretty damn good, I've got to say. He looks pretty sensational. 20 pace, 18 acceleration and flair. In the game, he needs a lot of work. His mentals and technicals aren't fantastic at all. But with that pace, he could do some damage, especially coming on as a sub maybe to sort of impact player. And then we've got Daniel James, who's an 18-year-old. Bags of potential, this kid. 18 years old. I think you need to give him some game time. This guy could potentially be very good. He's right-footed, can play on both sides as an inside forward or a winger. Then we've got Wayne Routledge, another pacey winger. Plays best as an inside forward, although his finishing isn't great. His crossing's not great either, so that's quite a tricky one. But, yeah, decent player. I wouldn't play him up front just because his finishing's so poor. But 31 years old now, so maybe 1 or 2 seasons left in him. And then up top, we've got a couple of really good strikers this season. So we've got Fernando Llorente, who went to Juventus and then Seville on a free, and then picked him up for $6 million. And he's a really good target man, actually. He's a pretty damn decent. He's 31 years old now, so a couple of seasons left before his sort of physicals start to disappear. But he's not the paciest, but he's a good finisher, good first touch. Composure's 14 as well. Really good heading and jumping reach. Really good target man. And then you've got the new signing, Borja Bastion, who starts the game 6 weeks out. Who, 23 years old, this guy could be really good as well. He's still going to improve. Picked him up 15 million after he had a good season at Eibar in the La Liga. What's it called? La Liga Santander, as it is now. And a good finisher. So a target man advance forward is actually a really nice combination. So, back to the team. What do we think, boys? I think it's okay. I think tactics-wise, I'm tempted. I like the idea of... Let's just jump into the tactics creator. I'm tempted. It would be nice to play Borja and Llorente as a top two. Because, big target man, quick advance forward, lovely combination. But then that would probably mean that Gylfi Sigurdsson then drops into central midfield. But I want to make the most of Gylfi Sigurdsson. So what I would probably do is play probably what's actually come up as the default, the 4-2-3-1 wide. Obviously with tweaks, maybe inside forwards and stuff. Play Gylfi Sigurdsson as a super duper. What roles is he best at? We'll stick him in so we can have a look. Just click on him. Yeah, shadow striker. I'm playing him as a shadow striker. So what I would be very tempted to do, I think, as my standard tactic, is to have him as the shadow striker and a supporting Llorente, a support maybe or attack target man. And get Sigurdsson to push forward, almost playing like a false 9 role at this stage. Basically playing as just off the striker. I think Van der Vaart and Peter, if you're old enough, Peter Crouch and Van der Vaart, they had a season or two at Tottenham where Van der Vaart was essentially playing midfield, but he was just winning he was scoring so many goals because Crouch would just knock it down, Van der Vaart would score, and it was really nice. For a couple of seasons, that was devastating. And then obviously, probably a flat back four, one more defensively minded midfielder, one sort of playmaker duty. And then maybe, because you're using a target man, you kind of want wingers rather than inside forwards, so you can just sort of get the ball into him. We've got a couple of decent. Where I'd spend the money is the sort of big question. I think we've got Montero. I'd probably go for another pacey winger. I don't want an inside forward. I want an absolutely pacey winger. Really good crossing. Really good pace. So we can just whip those balls into Llorente. Knock down. Sigurdsson. Goal. Bish bash bosh. Yeah. If you've got any money left over, I'd probably strengthen the defence. I think the right back position is a little bit weak. I think Neil Taylor's fine for left. Maybe even another central midfielder if that's an option. But there you go, guys. Please do let me know in the comments what you think, who you think we should Swansea should sign. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel. You can click the big button that I've put up there on the end card because that's a new thing, and go and check out some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye bye.